The Christianity and the Christian faith of South Africa cannot be compared with the faith that we saw in Uganda. The Uganda is so much advanced in the Christian way of living and in the Christian life of life. I am Father Wilfred Okali, a member of the Congregation of the Apostles of Jesus, working in South Africa in the Diocese of Tzaneen. I have been in South Africa for a number of years. It is now 12 years that I've been working there. We are always dealing with the pastoral issues, especially the baptism, the visitation, the funeral, which is a very common apostolate in South Africa. I must be very honest to the viewer that the Christianity and the Christian faith of South Africa cannot be compared with the faith that we saw in Uganda. The Uganda is so much advanced in the Christian way of living and in the Christian life of life. We came with a team from South Africa. We are 11 of us. And we started this journey after the day of Pentecost on Sunday, coming with the purpose of the visitation. Especially we came along with the relics of one of the saint, the Blessed Benedict Daswa, the only saint in South Africa. And we were received in the Archdiocese of Gulu by Archbishop John Baptist Odama, of which we later went to Pai Mall. In Pai Mall, we were blessed to see and to visit the site of Dr. Blessed Ambrosoli of Kalongo Hospital. And the following day, we visit the shrine of Dawoodi and Gildo Irwa, of which we had a very beautiful celebration with the community around, accompanied by the Chancellor of the Archdiocese of Gulu, Father Martin, and Monsignor, the Vicar General of the Archdiocese of Gulu. And later we came back to conclude our pilgrimage here at Namugongo, of which it was so marvelous. I must say that we are grateful for this visit, and thank you so much. It has been a long interest because one of the apostolate, the idea of our apostolate in South Africa is to promote the devotion of African martyrs and African saints. And Uganda being very rich with the multitude of saints, we chose to come with some catechists. Second time we came with the two bishops. One of them is present. He's coming here for the second time. And one bishop is also present but did not make it this time. And so we came for the purpose of enriching our Christian faith through the devotion of the saints and martyrs of Africa, Uganda being one of the examples. Thank you.
No, thank you very much. Well, I am Mr. Chris Mpapuli, the former school headmaster, and I'm coming here for the third time. So we were surprised about the many people, the many pilgrims that we saw on the way, some of them who walked for about 3 weeks coming to Paimon. So all of these good things that we have learned here, that we have seen here, we are also going to start training our people. Also next year to come with a bigger group than this one, because explaining to them, showing them the pictures, they will be missing a lot because we have spent all these days meaningfully.
My name is João Rodrigues. I'm the Bishop of the Diocese of Tzaneen in north-east of South Africa, a diocese which borders a few countries. In the north it borders Zimbabwe, east Mozambique, and northwest it borders Botswana. So we're very much part of the southern region of Africa as a diocese, and as you heard, we also have been blessed with the martyr Blessed Benedict Daswa. In 2015 he was beatified, and the course continues. We are praying and hoping one day he'll be canonized as a saint for the Universal Church. And so this is my second time actually coming on this pilgrimage to Ugandan martyrs, the shrines of Ugandan martyrs, as mentioned, up in the north in Gulu, Paimul, as well as now for the first time I actually saw also the shrine there of the Blessed Doctor. I experienced again here in Kampala. The highlight really for me personally was going to Paimul, because I came with the relics of our blessed martyr Benedict Daswa, and I presented the relics to Archbishop Jean-Baptiste, Archbishop of Gulu Archdiocese. Of course, he could not personally be present at our celebration, but the Vicar General was there on his behalf, and at the same time during that event I received the relics of Blessed Dodi and Blessed Gildo, the two martyrs of Paimul. So it was a wonderful experience in a sense of the communion of between Gulu Archdiocese and the Diocese of Tsanin. And it was also my first time meeting personally the Archbishop Jean-Baptiste, a very welcoming Archbishop, and he was very happy to see this exchange of devotion. And I was also quite surprised to see a painting in the church in Paimul of amongst the other saints of Blessed Benedict Daswa as well. So there's a strong connection and a link between us in South Africa and the martyrs here in Uganda. So that to me was the highlight, because I had been here before. Although it's a big celebration, personally the highlight was at Paimul. But that is what I would like to share with the listeners and the viewers. Well, I think you see, the Catholic Church in South Africa, we are not a very large church percentage-wise. We might be, I would say, 6%, 7, not more than 7, definitely. But the census exactly is not too clear, because we don't have a more up-to-date census, because the government there in South Africa no longer asks the question what denomination, Christian denomination or religious denomination you belong to. So it's, but looking at the past, so compared to Uganda, you see, the Catholics, I think, as far as I understand from listening to the other bishops, they, you are here in Uganda, something like 45% or something of the population is Catholic. So it's a big difference, the atmosphere and the establishment of the churches, the dioceses, the missions are much more developed certainly than in Tsanin diocese. We do have some bigger and more developed dioceses in South Africa, because the evangelization began in South Africa from the coast, and then the missionaries moved inland. So Tsanin is like one of the last inland regions to be evangelized by the Catholic Church. But there are many, many other churches. Most of the churches in South Africa are Protestant churches. So that is our context. So coming to Uganda, in a way, it encourages us. It shows us that the Catholic, I would say the African Catholics are we read in the newspapers or if you study and statistics in Africa that there are many Catholics in it, but we don't experience that in South Africa. Whereas here, we experience, like on Sunday, to see it's unthinkable. We don't even have that amount of Catholics in South Africa, let alone for one celebration. So you can't compare, you see. So for us, it's really an encouragement. It kind of strengthens our own faith to know we've got so many brothers and sisters of the same faith that are, overwhelmingly, devoted to Jesus Christ, worship Christ, who follow the way and are so inspired by their own martyrs here in Uganda. And we are enriched as well, because, we kind of see that synergy, you know, how similar it's not exactly the same, but it's very similar, the conflicts that Blessed Daswe experienced, you know, with the people who were against their faith, and also the martyrs here who experienced that antagonism against the faith and suffered the consequence, and yet they persevered. They never abandoned their faith. So it's a wonderful testimony for us, and it's a great strength. So we go back to South Africa with a lot of stories to share with our Christians and Catholics in particular, brothers and sisters, so that I'm sure more Catholics from South Africa would want to, you know, if they can, they would want to do a pilgrimage to the Ugandan Martyrs.